Let me introduce you to your best friend. Okay, all these times you probably thought that this shit was just for your foot, right? So I bought a new one and I figured out what was really wrong with my skin. Now the honey and stuff does work. I love it. I like to use it as like a moisturizer now. I don't put on as much as I used to, like paste it on and leave it on for an hour. Now I put like a little bit on and then rub it on my face and leave it like all day. I figured out what was wrong with my skin just by rubbing my face with this one tang. My skin is so oily, see, you can even see like I'm shining, that anytime I have dead skin, the dead skin stays hydrated and doesn't fall off my face or come off my face when I rub it, just with my hands or anything. Even when I use those little those scrubs with the beads and seeds and stuff inside of them, it doesn't come off. It goes inside my pores and then I start to pick and all that kind of stuff, and that's what happens with me. And then my pores get infected and I start getting like pimples and all kind of stuff goes on. So I take this, right? Let me just set this like right here. So what I usually do is, yes, I use extra strength Proactiv. I do, because I find it's the one that works the best for me. The other one was just too weak. So I put some Proactiv on a thing on my face, kind of get some water and just rub it in some circles. And then what I'll do is I'll take my brush, and yes, it was new. I didn't ever scrub my feet with this. Like, alright, okay. And I will just gently scrub in like circles. I'll gently scrub in circles. I'll concentrate on my cheeks because my cheeks are like the areas that have the most dead skin going on. I'll do my nose and little circles all across my face. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, my little scrubbing. I do this twice a day, every day. So this is what I figured out works the best for me. And I still use the honey, and I still do the facial masks that I was telling you about in part 1 and part 2. But I now add this to my regime. And I think it increases the blood flow to your face and stuff like that, and I think it stimulates, you know, new cell generation. So that's why I think it's working so well, because just like 2 weeks ago my skin looked awful, and I'll show you, and now my skin looks 100% better, 100% better. And I just scrub it. I scrub it for a good while. You know how I figured this out? Because after the first use, after I scrubbed my face for like the first time, I noticed that underneath my eye had a lot of crusty shit. So I was like, oh my god, that's all the dead skin that didn't get touched. So I do that also. I do one in my eye gently, of course. I wouldn't do it really hard or anything. I don't do any of my face hard. You might think it's gonna be hard, but it's just barely touching the surface. Now there are these things like the Clear Sonic. They work too, but they're not the brush is not as tough as this one. So I don't think it will exfoliate your skin as well as this one. And yes, there are other things like the Tantalite and all those things that kill bacteria. But yeah, I'm trying to get rid of all the dead skin where the bacteria can like just, the dead oily, disgusting skin. The bacteria can just hide and multiply in my pores and shit. You know something? The skincare doctors say that the bacteria that causes pimples does not go from one person to the next. So when I was in high school, I had a boyfriend, and he had so much acne, and I had no acne. And ever since the time I was dating my boyfriend, I had acne. From then, from like 13, 14 years old, I started getting acne, but it was like very light and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm noticing that my skin is turning around. In fact, my skin is starting to look much younger. My laugh lines used to be real deep. Now my laugh lines are pretty slight. Especially for that honey care thing. The honey does that for you, babe. So use the honey even if it's just for that. That's the raw honey. So I was scrubbing my face for quite some time. I do wash out my brush. And I'll wash my face off. I'll dry my face off. I have a towel that's specifically for my face. So I don't use any other towel. I don't use my body towel on my face. So make sure you get your own towels for your face and don't use like the same section over and over. All right then. And then I will go through the whole proactive steps and stuff. This is my daily thing. Then in the afternoon, I would do my sandalwood mask, you know, my sandalwood mask by Harry's Natural Products, Uncle Harry's Natural Products. I don't know, Uncle Harry's Natural Products. I don't know if you can see the email address and all that kind of stuff. There's Uncle Harry's Natural, it's uncleharrys.com. uncleharrys.com. Go on there, you find the honey and everything. And then what I'll do is just do all the proactive steps and I'll put on, now I'll tell you about the dark spot corrector because this shit works. The dark spot corrector works from Proactiv. It really does. I think it's voted #1 on dark spot correcting list. It works. Use it. Okay? Try it. If you have dark spots on your face, and how I do it is that, just let me go through all these steps first. So of course I will do the toners. So after the scrubbing thing, I take my toner and rub my face. Then I will do the treatment. Now, the downfalls of Proactiv, your skin gets kind of dry. But for me, it doesn't do that because my skin gets it doesn't dry up because my skin is so oily. But the other downfall of Proactiv is that it bleaches your hair sometimes. It strips your hair. If you don't put something around your edges, it'll strip your hair dry. So now let me tell you about the dark spot corrector. This is how I do it. I'll put a little bit on my hand and I will rub it on my face. Usually I concentrate on my cheeks, right? I take a little bit and rub it on my face, all over, just to even out my face. But then, they don't tell you this part, but then I take like little ones and I concentrate them on the actual spots so that those spots actually get more treatment than the rest of my face. You know, even the Proactiv itself has those little scrubbing things. The actual cleanser has those little scrubbing things inside of them. You can feel them. They're very grainy. And that shit didn't work for me. For months I was using Proactiv and Proactiv wasn't working for me. And then I just let it be my cleanser. It's my cleanser. I'm sure it's helping now because all the skin is disappearing. And now I find that my pores are so much cleaner. I don't get, when I try to clean my pores, barely anything comes out anymore. And I'm very happy about that. That means everything's working. See, that's how I put it on. And then I'll let it sit there, and before I go anywhere, I'll rub it in. I'll rub it into my face. Now let me tell you about other products that actually work from Proactiv. And I'm being serious. I like the pore refining peels. Now these actually work for clearing up black spots too, and they help to make your skin look very much younger. So I would use them like one pack a week. They probably tell you to use them 2 or 3 times a week, but I use 1 pack or so. And they really help to dry up any pimples that are on your face. So the pore refining peel packs, you open it and you just, after you cleanse your face and everything, you put that on. You put on your moisturizer and you go to sleep. Yeah, I only do it at night. And of course, my favorite product from Proactiv would be the refining mask. The refining mask is good for if you want to just put some on a specific pimple or something, but I don't have pimples anymore, so I don't have to use a refining mask. You could use it on your whole face and it does feel like it works, but it works better when you just use it as a spot treatment for a pimple. Like by morning, the pimple is like half the size of what it used to be. So yeah, and then they'll go away if you keep using it. So that's how I take care of my face a little bit now. I still use the honey, I still use the sandalwood mask, I still do the lemon and baking soda juice thing. I still do all of those, but I do them in the afternoon before I go to sleep. Whatever it is staring at me through the glass of a two-sided mirror, and whatever